Okay, we're going to restart and try again. Hi, my name is Savannah and welcome back to one of my monthly recap videos. I forgot that it was the beginning of the month again. Life has been absolutely crazy lately. It's the end of this school year, so, there's so much going on that I forgot that I needed to film my video this weekend. But it's still Sunday, so we're good. But I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to edit this video. I don't want to take the time today because I need that time to do other things. But it is, oh my gosh, it's almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon already. Ugh. Anyways, so let's go ahead and dive right in. I have my tracker right here to see exactly what I've done. Oh, I forgot to grab something. I'll have to grab it in a second. Just to show you, or, keep myself on track of whatever, or everything that I have done this month. I only have one finish, and that's the thing I forgot to grab. So I'm going to have to go and snatch that real quick. Okay. So just about midway through the month, it was the weekend, and I'll be honest, I was absolutely bored with every knitting project that I have on my needles currently. So I was just like, I don't want to work on any of them, but I also don't like just sitting and doing nothing. So I decided to crochet a quick little thing. I made Alberto the Seagull from Pica Pau. Oop. This is my cute little guy. I've been meaning to make him for a while now, and I finally just did it, and it took me 3 days. Maybe, yeah, 3 days. I did not add his feet because I thought it was cute just sitting like this, because his feet actually come down. They don't bend out, so he could sit like this. They're supposed to come straight down. And I knew he wouldn't stand regardless, so I was like, let's just make him sitting. How cute, kind of like he's floating in the water. My colors aren't exactly the same that is used in the pattern, but I used what I had in my stash. Don't love this, but it is what it is. Yeah, my little seagull. I messed up right at the beginning. I misread the instructions, and so he's got a little bit of a pointy head, but his cute little hat covers that up. So let me grab the book real quick to show you, because I forgot that too, just so you can see. So this is the book. This is Pica Pau 3, or Animal Friends of Pica Pau, I should say. And the book is by Jan Schenkel. I've made the whale. There's a dinosaur in here, and then Alberto the Seagull. So the whale was for my son. My daughter wanted the dinosaur, and I was debating between the chicken and the seagull won. So I have book 1 and I have book 3. And that's because I like the animals that are in both of those. Book 2, just not as appealing to me, but I thought these were cute. So I got these for myself for Christmas a couple of years ago. So in this book, these are all the animals. I don't know how well you can see that, sorry. But yeah, I do love these cute little crochet animals. So yeah, if you're interested, this is the book that I got my little seagull from. So he just sits on my bookshelf being all cute and adorable. Oh, I should show you what he looks like with his legs, I guess, huh? That way you can see the whole. This one would be so cute. She made a mini one, but I don't know how, because there's no instructions for the mini. But that's the little feet. Super cute. Oops. Ah, it's stuck on me. Alberto Seagull. Just a cute little patoot. Anyways, I thought about maybe one day adding the legs, but what I would do is have them come out so he can still sit, and then his little legs dangle out this way. Maybe one day, who knows. The yarn that I used was Drops Cotton Light, which I do not recommend. I already know that this, so that's the same yarn that I used for the other two that I made. Like I bought all the yarn in one a long time ago. And as soon as I started the very first little animal, I knew I did not like this yarn, but alas, it was in my stash. I was going to use it, but Drops Cotton Light, I think that's what it's called. It splits terribly and constantly. So it is not enjoyable to use, but it does make for a cute little animal. But yes, I do not recommend that yarn. Do not get that yarn. So yeah, this is the only thing I finished. I did start it as well. So I do have one other start, but I'm going to talk about that later because I just started it a couple of days ago. What else I have been working on? So what is this? This is the new thing. So I'm going to move that down. I went ham on this project in the month and I could have finished it, but I burnt out. So this is the DRK Everyday Cardi by Andrea Mowry. I don't know where I was the last time I showed this to you because I have since washed and blocked it, so I took the stitch marker off. The only thing I have left to do is do the button band. And when I got to that part, I did not have the mental capacity to do that. So I said, nope. But I did sew down the folded collar, even though I prefer the collar. I like the way it looks before you fold it, kind of like sits back, kind of like a little sailor collar, but I'm not sure how the button band would work if I left it like that. So I did what the instructions said to sew, fold it down and sew it. And then you're going to pick up all this to do a button band. So yeah, I used HolstGarn Super Soft in the Sapphire colorway. I do have lots of outfits that'll go great with this colorway. So yeah, I just need to add the button band and it'll be done. I'm just a procrastinator. So this is a fingering weight cardigan. So I started this back in August, I think. So it's definitely taken me some time. I haven't worked on it consistently, but you know, it's a nice little lightweight cardigan for the summer, that's for sure. So yes, just need to finish it. But I did. I worked on this 19 days in April, and and I was mostly doing it at work. This was my take to work project, and so I did most of it, and then the sleeves went by relatively quickly. So I was really happy about that. I was a little nervous because again, it is fingering weight, and I think I can't remember if it was a US 4 or a 4mm needle. I can't remember. But yeah, that body just took a million years. I think I shortened the ribbing just a little bit, but I could be wrong. Not these. I did these pretty much too. But I think I shortened this just a little just because I was sick and tired of it. But I tried not to shorten it too much because I've noticed my past self used to get so bored with knitting the body that I would stop it sooner and then I would never wear it because it was too cropped for my taste. So I try not to do that stuff. But yeah, so this just needs a button band and it'll be done. So hopefully in May. But again, I can't, it probably won't actually. It'll probably be June. There's just, like I said, a lot going on at the end of the school year. The end of the school year is a lot. Working and having kids in school. All right, those are my crochet hooks. I did work on this one. I've been working on this one and I keep forgetting to bring it up, but this is my, it's the Summer Fade Hexie blanket by, oh no, I forgot the designer's name, but I am doing it just random. So I'm just using the pattern as like how to make the hexagons and how to join them, but I'm not actually following the pattern the way it was meant to. And this is just all my sock scraps. and I'm holding each one double. So this is what I have so far. The one in the middle with the stitch marker, that's the one I started with, and I've been working out in a circle. Like I go around. So yep, minis that I've received, scraps from socks that I've made. Just enjoyable. I enjoy making this, so this was the last one I did, so I need to keep going this way. But yeah, I figured I'd show this because it's been a while. So occasionally I'll pick this up if I don't feel like knitting on anything else, and I'll put a hexie or two in when I get around to it. And let's see here. It looks like I have maybe, all right, so this is my basket. I have, I think I have just these two left in this pile. And then I have the stuff from like the middle of this blanket wasn't all used up, so I put that to the side, and I'm gonna put that back in and pull out the ones that I have here. These that I still have, these will get pulled out and the other ones will get put in, and then when those ones are done again, I'll put these ones back in and keep going until I've run out of the yarn, because I think that's most of all my scraps that I have. I've gotten rid of a lot of my scraps over the years, so I don't have nearly as many as I used to. So, and we'll see what that gets me. I don't work with a lot of fingering weight sock yarn anymore, so I have some here, but they're still in full skeins, so I'm not going to touch those until after I make. But yeah, I really was excited to get to this blue. It's not showing up as vibrant as it is in person, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It's so just bang in your face. What other one did I really like? Oh, I love this one. I mean, the red's beautiful. What else? What else? I mean, I like all of them. Obviously, I bought these or were gifted these. Most of them I purchased myself, but some I was gifted as just minis. Like this blue one I was actually gifted. It just happens to be a fantastic blue. Oh, this one. This one's funny. So I have this pretty color. I don't know where this came from, if I dyed it up or what. I didn't have enough, so I just had to finish this row here at the end with some undyed yarn, because I'm like, well, I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, I ran out. I was a little bummed. I think it was this one. I just had an undyed ball, or a scrap, so I just put it in there. But yeah, I figured I'd show you guys. It's coming along. It's going to be a very nice blankie when it's finished, eventually. But I do enjoy it. I do have another scrap blanket that's knitting that I started many years ago, and I barely touch it. I need to, but I barely touch it. Those are my smaller scraps, because that is, it's called a color theory blanket, which you hold 5 strands of fingering weight yarn on giant needles and you do moss stitch. So that was a million years ago. What else have I been working on? This one's the one I kind of bring to work now because I needed something easy to focus on. So this is what is this called? The Ciro sweater by Moreca Knits. I'm still working. I believe this is where I was the last time I showed you. If not, it was just right where I split. I think the other time was right where I split. So this is the back. I have about 1 more inch to go, maybe, of the back, and then I got to do the front, and then the sleeves, and it'll be done. I've blocked this just to check the length. I've blocked before I did the split. Yeah, I've blocked before the ribbing at the bottom because I was a little bit nervous about the depth of, but it is 6 inches of ribbing, so I was a little nervous about the length of it. Let's see here. But I think with so my belly button's here, right where the ribbing kind of starts, kind of, if this is, yeah. So hopefully It'll be good. This is also HolstGarn Super Soft, held double, like 2 strands of HolstGarn Super Soft plus a strand of mohair. So I wind a bunch off of this cone so that I can put 2 strands together, and then I'm holding it with this Drops Kid Silk in the brown color. I forgot what it's called. This one's called Coffee, but I forgot what this one was called. So yeah, right now I have a ball in my bag that I've just wound. I just wound it all together because I was kind of lazy. Didn't want to have all of these together because I was actually getting quite a bit of a tangle when I would take it to work. So I wound it off, just put it into a ball, all 3 strands, and calling it good. So that is what I've been working on here. This is tiny. These needles are a 3mm or a US 2.5, so it does take time, but it is pretty mindless, so it is a good for work when I get a free moment away from the students. I did work on this other one for a few days and I got really into it. I don't know how many days. Vintage. Oh, no, there's no way. There's no way. I only marked it 3 days total in the month. I can't be correct. Either way, I was getting really back into it, and then I had to put it aside for the project I will show afterwards. But it's from the Strands of Joy Volume 2 book. It is the vintage flannel sweater. Vintage flannel. This cute thing. I was kind of experimenting with gauge and all that jazz with this one, if you remember. I am using undyed yarn, fingering weight. I believe this is an 80/20 because it 2-ply. That's what it looks like. And then this is Hedgehog Fibers Merino Singles in the Dune colorway. So I'm using these together, and this is what I have so far. This is what I have. So I've gotten into, you can barely see it, but here's the tittle of the eye, and then the T with the cross on it. And then the K is, where is the K? Okay, the K starts right here. So the K is right here, barely, and then the I and the T. We'll see. Obviously, it's not much, so it's hard to tell. I did block the top. I can't remember if it was a full soak or if it was a steam block. I think it was just a steam block. The top, just to make sure that my color work tension is working out, because I was, as you can see, it's very puckery on the part that isn't. And so I got nervous, but no, it looks like it's all working out. I do not think I can show you proper size, but for right now, when I put it on a bigger needle, yeah, I can't stretch it out. When I put it onto, I think I just dropped my stitch marker. When I put it on a bigger needle, I had 2 long needles on it, so I could, yep, I took it off. I could test it, and I think it's gonna work. I think so. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find my stitch marker. There it is. I think it's gonna work. So now really it's just a test of yoke depth. Is that going to work? Because if you are unaware, let me get this put where it belongs. If you're unaware, this pattern is meant to be knit in a sport weight, I think. Let me double check the gauge on this. All right, so the yarn that's called for is Farmer's Daughter's Fibers Reminiscent Sport and Spin Cycle Nocturne, which is another sport weight. So sport and sport, you know. But it's a 21 stitches per 4 inches in color work. I couldn't hit that even with a DK weight when I tried. When I did all my test swatches, even in a DK weight, I could not hit 21 stitches. So what I did is, and I really wanted to use the fingering weight, I decided to do my gauge swatch, and based off of that gauge swatch, the math said I needed to knit a 2XL. And I'm typically a medium 2. So a 2XL to get at least a 44 inch. Is that what I'm trying to get? A 44 inch bust? Yeah. 37 plus 7. So far so good. We will see. Let's see here. So the last time I showed you, I was here, and so I put about an inch in. It is getting wider because of the increases, but it's actually very enjoyable to knit. I'll be honest. It's very therapeutic because of the color work. The only time the color work part changes is here for the, you know, the word knit. And then, so it gives you a little bit something exciting to get to, but the rest of it is just, it's 5 1 5 1 1 1 5 1 5 1 1 1. It's very just meditative and lovely. So I'm sad I had to put it down, but I did. I had to put it down to work on the next piece I'm going to show you. Well, in a second. Let me get this put back in here. This isn't the best bag for this, but it works. This bag, actually, I was gifted book of the month. I finally hit BFF mode. So this is a cute little bag they gave you. It's got a book pocket. Book of the month. Maybe I'll put my link in the description if I can. I'm not sure if I can, to be honest. I think it's something I have to just send, but if you're interested in book of the month, which is pretty cool, you can get, if you use my link, you can get a book for like $5, your first book for $5 or something. It's like 17 something a month, and you can skip months if there's no books that you prefer, because they give you like 5 or 6 different options to choose from. And if you don't like any of them, you can skip the month, so you don't pay for that month, and then you just, you know, keep on going until you decide you don't want to anymore. But I've been doing it since 2023. And I skipped most of last summer because none of the books were good enough for me. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoy book of the month. So I'll see. If it's not in the description below, you can always reach out and I can figure out how to send you a link. Or I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know. I'll have to look into it. All right, quick, just a little update. Not much done on the Geurnsey Genser. And I definitely have not touched the Haraboji cardigan. I'm kind of afraid to, because I think this hurt my hand. So I have not touched this, and I barely touched this one. This is just slow going HolstGarn fingering weight on a 3mm needle, 2.25 US, and it's moss stitch, seed stitch. Which one do you call this? Seed stitch, where you switch every other, or every round, not every other round. Either way, it's slow going. Okay, so the one that I am focusing on right now is a test knit. I actually signed up for a test knit. Probably shouldn't have, but I did anyways because I thought it was pretty. I made a mistake when I signed up for this test knit. I must not have been paying close attention, because when I signed up for the size that I signed up, I thought that was the size plus the ease, and it was not. It was for just the actual bust size. And so mine's going to be a little bit bigger than what I would normally go for. I think it's gonna, so my bust is a 36, 37, depending on the day. And I ended up signing up for the 54 inch. Oops. It was all in centimeters. So, I mean, I know what I am in centimeters. It's just, I wasn't thinking. I really thought that it was the sizes that was needed was the size plus the ease in it. So here's my swatch so far. Actually goes this way. All this lace up here I made a mistake in, so do not do not look at that. But yeah, there's baubles here. Yeah, it's gonna be a very lovely cardigan. I do not know how to pronounce the name of this cardigan. Amitie. I'm not entirely sure. I'll put the name on the screen, but I am not sure how that's pronounced. It is by a Korean designer. Her name is Knittree. This is definitely a different style of test knit, but it's kind of cool. So we're going through Notion. I've never used the app before. I don't know how to add any information in it, and it looks like she wants us to fill out a Google sheet, a Google form every week, at the end of every week. I don't know. I'm fine with it. I have no issues. So the yarn that I ended up going with, this is from Stash. I actually was going to use this yarn for a different pattern, but I didn't have anything else suitable in my stash for this pattern, so I was just like, that's okay. I'll just use this. Honestly though, I kind of wish I had black mohair and then I would have made this in black. I think that would have been really, really lovely. But this is an all over lace v-neck cardigan. It's very lovely. I am using HolstGarn Super Soft Held Double with Drops Brushed Alpaca. So the HolstGarn is Willow, and the brushed alpaca, I don't know what the color is. Oh, pistachio, like glazed pistachio. So this is the mohair, or not mohair, sorry, brushed alpaca, and this is Willow by HolstGarn. But yeah, I meant to use this as a different, but it is what it is. And so yeah, I have until, I'm not entirely sure when the end date is. Originally it was May 31st, but then when people commented on her Instagram post saying, hey, that's not enough time, especially for the bigger sizes, she did extend it for the bigger sizes. So I think I get about 8 weeks. Oh no, I'm in the middle of a row. Oh no. Hold on, let me see if I can, if this is just a knit row. Yeah. Let me just get through the rest of this. My goal, I would love it. This weekend I had planned to get this portion of the cardigan finished. Will I? I'm not sure, but I can only hope. That's why I'm unsure if I'll get this video edited and up by the end of the day. I don't think so. Maybe I'll edit tomorrow after work if I feel good enough. We'll see. Okay, I got to the end. So this is the back panel, and the goal is that I would like setting for myself is to finish this back panel. So you start with so many stitches at the top and you increase out and you just do this lace, or maybe you can see it a little bit better this way. You do this lace and then you do bigger eyelets and then these, and then I just did a row of baubles yesterday, which took forever. I did crochet baubles though, which was a little bit easier. And then I'm about to do these yarn over lacy bit here, and then I think that's the end of the back, I think, and then I do the front panels. So far the pattern looks really well done. I haven't come across any additional mistakes. The only mistake I saw so far that has already been corrected was in the swatch. She actually makes a chart for your swatch, which made this really easy because I am very much I don't like knitting swatches this big. My swatches typically look like this, little itty bitty swatches. I'm not a big fan of doing big ones, but she had these all charted and ready to go. So you just had to follow this. And then there was one mistake in this. So I haven't seen any other mistakes so far. So just chucking along. I think this is hilarious of myself to sign up for something. I am not a big fan of knitting lace, but this has been enjoyable. I complained about doing the button band on the DRK Everyday Cardi being too mentally challenging, but lace is way more mentally challenging, but I have been having a decent time with this. Can you imagine this though in black? That would be really, really nice. But I am not somebody who will re-knit a pattern. I typically just don't. But so my idea, if this ends up being way too big, like too big, look, either I will repurpose the yarn, or if it's too much of a hassle to try to rip out, maybe I'll just gift it to somebody who could, or I'll put it on Etsy. We'll see. But so far, I don't think it's gonna be too big. I think that from when I can't stretch it out fully, but from what I can tell, this is the back of the neck. Yeah, I can't stretch it out fully, but I think the sleeve, the drop will come to about here. So that's not terrible. We'll see. But yes, so I'm knitting at 54 inches. That's how many, from 37 to 37, 47, that's 10. So just under 15 inches. I'm not going to do the full math. Anyway, so that is what I'm going to be focusing on for all of May, is that test knit. So everything else will get pushed back. Again, I do take a different project to work because I can't take the test knit. It's just, it requires too much focus, and I need to be able to focus on the students, and knitting, ribbing is just muscle memory now. So what else? I've been talking forever, talking fast. Oh, it's over there. I did do my block of the month, so the sewing bit. Oh, I actually did I show you my dress? I think I showed my dress last month. I think that was finished last month, but my other sewing, the quilt, let me show you what I've done. Just a quick recap of what I've been working on for the quilt. If you don't check my videos out, it's this Homespun Collective Block of the Month by Lo and Behold Stitchery. For April, it was the Star Sprinkle blocks. So they look like this. This was the center block. This is the regular Star Sprinkle block. So, well, there's a pink dot there. And then, so these are going to be bordered. So there's like 2 or 3 of these. This is in the center, but they are alternated between my sawtooth star blocks. So this, and then this, and this, and then another one of these. So that is what I did for April. Just get these. It was pretty straightforward, lots of straight cutting and straight seams. So, well, of course, straight seams, it's quilting, but it was just a lot of pretty easy cutting and sewing. I do feel like this was the one block where I had less success with my seams matching up. I'm not entirely sure why. Probably my seam allowance, but it is what it is. I mentioned this earlier when I was knitting. That is the Rose Cardigan by Andrea Mowry. I made that years and years and years ago. And I mean, I like it. It's cute. It was a good knit. I just don't wear it very often because it is so, it just falls off my shoulders. So I saw somebody else had seamed up the front to make it a V-neck sweater. So that's what I'm doing. I started it just the other day. I should just get it quickly finished. I'm going to go up to about, I think if I go right up to about here, hi. that should be good. We'll see. This is a bit gapey here. I don't know. I don't know if I made a mistake while knitting that, because the button band, or the faux button band, there's no buttons on it. You knit that separately and then mattress seam that on. So, and you do both sides and then you sew it together. The first time I did it, I made one side way longer than the other one, so I had to fix that. And I don't know if they're both still too long, but it is what it is. So that's what that is. I meant to mention that earlier. Other than that, just going through the motions of life, right? Just gearing up for the summer holidays. You know, having June and July off will be super nice. There's a lot of changes happening at work, so there's all that. Making sure the kids are all ready to go. We have a community-wide garage sale coming up soon, so I need to start planning for that. I have quite a few things that I would not mind getting rid of, and so that's going to be a lot of work. I think next weekend is the weekend that I will be doing that. And yeah, my daughter made the cheer team for next year, so we're very excited about that. It'll be her 3rd year of cheering for her middle school. And so we decided to purchase her uniform this year, which is quite expensive, but this way she can keep it and we can frame it maybe when she's outgrown it, so that you know, she has that memory to look back on. She's not sure if she wants to do high school cheer, but for right now, you know, that's really exciting. I'm pretty excited for her. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I think I'm just blabbling. I need to go and do things. So I will see you later. I hope you didn't hate this video. Bye.